You got all the cash budget and stuff. You don't buy all the binders and you still don't know how to budget. Today's the day you learn. Sample copy of our new budget planner, but it is perfect for new budgeters. We cut out all the fluff. We made it a lot simpler to follow. And if you are really wanting to learn to take back control of your finances by using the cash stuffing method or some version of it, this is the video for you. I'm not even going to give you a tour of the whole book. We're just going to go ahead and break down how I would have budgeted for the month of July if I had this in time. All right, so here's your monthly overview. Here's a little quote to keep you motivated, and you go ahead and select your month here. So since we are doing the month of July, I went ahead and put a heart around it. If you look over here in this right-hand corner, it goes ahead and tells you how to set up your monthly overview. So first things first, we want to go through and number our days. I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. All right, so we went in and got our days numbered. So we're gonna go ahead and check off that first task. Up next, we wanna go in and add holidays. So for the month of July, obviously we had Independence Day. And then if you celebrate, Ashura is on the 28th. We do have a list of the federal holidays at the beginning of this planner. We went in and added our holidays. Up next, we are going to go in and add our paydays. So this is where it gets different for everyone. So if you're paid weekly, write them in every week. And this is every form of income you have. So if you receive child support, if you receive bonuses, if you're commission based, if you're someone who is a server or an exotic dancer, you get paid every day. So maybe you want to choose once a week, so that you save up all your money and pay yourself once a week. That's kind of personal preference, but everybody else is just any income that you have coming in. Went in and added all of our paydays, and what I'm also actually going to do is highlight those in a designated color. So I'm going to grab these highlighters, and if you're wondering, these are available in my shop. There's two different color variations. I don't remember which color I grabbed, but I'm going to go ahead and do paydays in green. So and do that in green, because when I look at this calendar, I can look here at paydays and my eyes automatically know where my money is coming in. So next up, we want to go through and add our bills. So these are fixed expenses, and you can get as deep as adding in your subscriptions and everything. Just include everything except for debt payments. We're going to do that in a separate color. Gone in and added in all of our bills. So I'm going to go ahead and color those in orange here again, so that when my eyes look, I can visually see when they're due. Add in our debt payments. So this is any credit card, loans, mortgage, your car payment, anything that you owe to someone else needs to be written in here. All right, so same thing here. Go ahead and designate a color for your debt payments and highlight those as well. If you have any special events coming up, anything crazy happening, Hence, for me this month, I had some damage to my truck, so I had to pay a deductible. That's something that I would add in here because it was a significant amount of money. So I'm just going to note it because I don't know for sure right now which day it was, but okay. So like a deductible, if your kid's birthday was coming up, anything substantial that will cost you money that you need to be able to consider when planning out your month, you want to go ahead and add it in here. And what we're going to talk about next is a pay frequency chart. So this is for the people who are paid bi-weekly, monthly, so on and so forth. I'm paid weekly, so it's not something I would use. But if I were paid bi-weekly, get this paycheck here on the 10th, right? And I would know that it would need to cover all of the bills within that pay frequency. So all of the bills from the 1st to the 10th, I would know would need to be paid by last month's last check. All of the bills from the 10th to the 24th, which would be my next pay period, would need to be highlighted, or just go around them like this in another color and know that, okay, with this paycheck on the 10th, I have to pay utilities, iFit, my water, my Wi-Fi, Apple Music self-lender, my self-lender credit card. All those would be due within this pay period, right? And I would do the same for my paycheck from the 17th through the 31st, right? Considering I'm bi-weekly, so I would know that Hulu, my life insurance, my Second Navy Federal credit card, Netflix, Bank of America credit card, Amazon Prime, Chase Freedom, and my payment for my car wrap to myself would all be due with this paycheck. And that enables you to see which all bills you should be paying with which paycheck. And it also helps you to see that, say this is a $2,000 paycheck, right? And my utilities, Wi-Fi, and say my rent were in this one, right? And say all of that came up to $2,300. Well, I know that I won't have enough with this paycheck to cover these bills. So I would be able to look at that and see on a month-to-month basis and know that, okay, with my last check of the month, I need to be sitting an extra $300 aside because next month when the rent is due with my first check, I need $200 extra because I don't make enough that pay period to cover the bills, if that makes sense. Same thing for monthly. I believe, I've gone back and forth with how to educate people on how to budget monthly. And if I were a teacher, right, and I'm paid on the 15th, I don't believe budgeting once a month is going to be beneficial or helpful to you. I think you still need to break it down at least twice a month and say, okay, well, I'm paid on the 15th. I'm going to give myself half of that on the 15th and half of that on the 30th. So you at least have a check-in point, because trying to make money stretch from one check to the next with no middle line, you're going to struggle and most times fail. So break down that monthly check into two, and even though it's deposited in your account, set it up where half of that automatically goes to savings or to another checking, and you don't bother it until halfway through your pay period. And then you budget with that money again. But laying out this monthly overview using this finance checklist enables you to see where your money is going and how much. So for instance, you could write in the amounts here next to the bills so that you know, okay, well, with this $2,000 check, I can't cover X, Y, and Z. So with my previous check before this one, I need to start setting aside an extra $200 or $300 because I'll be feeling like I have extra money with that paycheck. No, ma'am. That money is for bills, all right? So again, if you're bi-weekly, this pay frequency chart is so important. So for me, since I'm weekly, let me show you how I'll do it. Do purple for my pay frequency, right? So I already have a bill account. Y'all know that I cash stuff my bills week to week. This is what works for me. So on the first day of the month, I go and pull all of this cash out that I cashed up last month, and I deposit it on the 1st. So my bills are auto-drafted automatically. I don't pay them in cash with the money that I cashed up the month before. But if I wasn't doing that, I would have to look at this as a monthly calendar. So I don't get my first check until the 3rd, rent's due on the 1st. So I could probably swing it and just pay it a little late on the 3rd, right? You don't really want to have to do that. This is why the monthly calendar helps. If I was doing that and this was my 2nd month, I would know that with my last check of the month, I need to put up enough money to cover all these bills on the 1st because this check doesn't come till the 3rd. So this week here, with this Baddies and Budget's first paycheck, it should cover my gas this holiday, T-Mobile, HBO Max, Sling TV, Apple TV, Disney Plus, my Navy Federal, my first card payment, and my Mint Mobile, right? So all of that will be coming out of this check. If I pay all my bills, I do my regular budgeting, and I still have an excess, that money still needs to be put away for the next week's bills, because more than likely one of these weeks is not going to have enough money to cover the weekly bills. Do the same thing. You just want to chart out each pay period so that you can see it on paper, which bills and which paydays are coming out of which check. Which bills and which debts, I'm sorry. Okay, so I know that with this second check, I'm going to be paying my lights, iFit, utilities, Vexus, Apple Music, self-lender, and my self-lender credit card with this check. Highlight this one in purple. This is actually a 5-check month. So with this very last check here, I only have one bill to pay. So with this extra, I can put that money away so that next month, if I'm short, if I have debt that I'm trying to pay towards a savings challenge, this big check that only has one bill to pay, that's where that money can go. So that's all I'm going to show you guys today in this video. As a breakdown, I feel like this is enough. This is digestible enough. You should be doing this at the beginning of every month, okay? This helps you to go ahead and set up your budget going further from here.